Hi, my name is Ron Wilstein, and I'm a broker with Keller Williams Luxury Properties here in Park City, Utah. Thank you for joining me for the February 2021 Park City Market Talk webinar, where we're going to look at what's happening with Park City real estate. And it can best be summarized in three words: going, going, and gone. Two things I want to cover with you today. I want to give you an update on sales. That's really important to see what's going on. We've got a booming market. And then secondly, discuss how to buy in this fast-moving marketplace. But before we do that, we can't stop by emphasizing the importance of Park City and what we all love here, and that is skiing and snowboarding here, either at Park City or Deer Valley. The COVID-19 protocols are in place. They're not difficult to deal with, and they certainly give us the pleasure of hitting the slopes and enjoying it. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, you definitely want to do that. Why? Because we are facing a winter storm warning, which means fresh powder, and we're going to be out there enjoying it big time. All right, let's take a look at our Park City real estate market update. By now, we're all quite familiar that COVID-19 has created a real estate boom here in Park City. So here are the facts. Over the last 12 months, there's been 2,109 sales in Park City. That's homes, condominiums, and vacant land. And that is up 46% or 664 sales from a year ago today. Now keep in mind, a year ago today was pre-COVID-19. The announcement or the first case in Park City and frankly in Utah was about the middle of March. So these are statistics prior to that, which were setting a record high of over 1,400 sales. Now we're up to over 2,100 sales. Homes, we're seeing a 52% increase from year over year, from 546 sales all the way up to 833, a 25% in the number of sale increases in condominiums, up from 773 to 963. And then lot sales, look at this, 154% increase of buying land, up to 313 from the previous year of 123. Now we're looking at Park City and Snyderville Basin, the in-town area, the out-of-town area, all still part of Park City. And the red bars represent February 2020 through January 2021, and the silver bars the 12-month period before that. You can see that the number of home sales in the city jumped by 65%, up to 301 from 182. 45% increase in the Snyderville Basin from 367 to 532. Is the market hot? I should say so. Condominium sales jumped 27% in the city limits from 354 to 451. And in the Snyderville Basin, 22% increase up to 512 from the previous 419. Now looking at land, look at this. Inside the city limits, where we don't have a lot of land to choose from and therefore not much to sell, people found it anyway. They wanted land. They wanted to own Park City. Jumped from 19 sales for a whole year to 48. That's a 153% increase. Oh my gosh. But it was outdone by Snyderville Basin with a 155% increase, climbing from 104 sales all the way to 265 sales. When you look at all this data, you see these bars just going up and up and up and up. That's what our market is doing. Sales went up in every single category. Now let's take a look at prices. We always want to see what's happening on prices. Well, 32% increase medium sold price in the city limits, climbing from 1,950,000 all the way up to 2,581,500. Just 32%. Snyderville Basin saw a 24% increase from 1,265,000 to 1,568,500. We shift to condominiums and we see inside the city limits a 29% increase year over year, up from 776,500 as a median price all the way to $1 million even. We did see a drop in the Snyderville Basin of 15%, but it may be a little bit misleading, but it dropped from 650,000 to 555,000. Contributed to that drop in a significant way was a new product that became available that were studios, lower price point, and so this doesn't reflect the fact that the condos were also going up in the Snyderville Basin. It just reflects a whole bunch of sales that went through at a lower price point, and therefore that accounts for the adjustment. When we look at vacant land inside the city limits, again, there weren't as many lots available to sell. We see no change. It held at 1.2 million. And in the Snyderville Basin, the appreciation of land went up 28% year over year, from 494,000 to 630,000. So again, when we look at these graphs, they're really quite insightful, and they point to an upward arrow because prices rose in most cases by double digits and as high as 32% over previous years' prices. We obviously have a real estate boom here in Park City. Prices going up, number of sales going up. And a key question that we want to address is how to buy in this fast-moving market. And to do so, I want to bring in the team. Here they are, and we're going to hear from them right now. Hi guys, how's it going?
Great, how are you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to our snow in the forecast. We're supposed to get a whole bunch of storms lined up. And have you been out skiing?
Yeah, that's super exciting. We got a storm last week, and I went skiing over the weekend, and the snow was super soft. The lines look intimidating when you first get to the mountain at the base, but once you get through that initial line and up the mountain, they disperse throughout, and lines aren't bad. Snow's great, super soft, and skiing great.
Yeah, that's what I've been finding too.
No, it's great to finally have some storm cycles come through. Last weekend, good storm. This weekend, looks like we're going to have a good storm. I've been out playing on my snowmobiles out in the Uintas, so I haven't been waiting in lines. But
it's a tough life in Park City. So many things to choose from outside. All right. Well, listen, we got a short amount of time for today's discussion, but we got obviously a real hot market. I want to throw out 2 questions, get your feedback, and here we go. So in today's hot real estate market, what should a buyer expect when looking to purchase a property in Park City? And I'm interested in, as part of your response, is it different for buying a home versus a condominium versus vacant land?
Yeah, great question, Ron. In today's real estate market, if you're a buyer, I would expect there's at least maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 other buyers looking at that same property. Don't be surprised if there's multiple offers. And when it comes to purchase price, remember the list price on a property is just a number that their agent and that seller assigned to it. So, if the market's calling for more and there's demand and there's competition, don't be afraid to pay over that list price. It's just a number that's put out there. And really the market is the one that determines that. So if you pay 5, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 over list price, don't worry, because the next sale is going to start at that price or higher if you miss out on that one.
Yeah, I think that's well put. And it's right now across the board, there's a couple of different price points that we have very, very, very scarce, limited inventory. And there is still very high demand from a lot of buyers. And so they're competing against each other, and we're seeing it. And a lot of the times when we're working with buyers, we as agents want to get our buyers the absolute best deal, right? We take pride in negotiating prices off. Right now, a lot of the times, it's tough to say, but a lot of the times getting the deal, we've said this in the past, but it's now true more than ever, getting the deal is acquiring the property, because going back to what Jeremy just said, the prices will go up and you will see equity with the next sale, right?
Yeah, that's, I like what Jeremy said in that, it used to be, and it wasn't very long ago, it used to be that whatever the list price was, that's what a seller was hoping to get. And certainly there are a certain amount of sellers who overprice their property, and it's la-la land, it's too high. And buyers tended to, not all the time, but tended to come with the point of view of, I never pay full price for anything. And, my second question is going to deal more with negotiating and the price issue, but it really is the baseline. I think you were right, Jeremy. This is, you hate to think if you're a buyer that I start at the full price, but in this market, if you don't, unless a property's been on the market for an extended period of time, and there's probably a reason that is evident for why that is, you pretty much need to come in at that price or a little bit above. You know, and you think that's true of land and condos as well as primary residences?
Yeah, speaking to land right now, land is a very, very hot category. We are seeing very low inventory in land, and the land that had been on the market has been snagged up. I think a lot of that has to do with the low inventory of homes right now, and people that want to get into the Park City market and they're not happy with, or they can't secure a home that comes on the market because there's competition, they're turning towards land and building their home in the future. So that's what's driving up land prices and an opportunity to secure a spot in the market.
Okay, so let's go to the other question, and that is, how should a buyer approach negotiating a purchase to be successful? And the primary goal is to end up with the property if you're trying to buy it. And the secondary goal, although important, is to get it at the best possible price. But it feels like, you're almost at the mercy of a seller in today's market.
Yeah, the seller is in control, but and if the property just goes on the market and there's high level activity on that property, which we discovered by talking to the agents, it hasn't been on the market long, it's going to get multiple offers. So we need to be aggressive with our offer. In some instances, we're seeing people up front submit higher than asking price and getting that property over other people that might be offering at asking price. Now that's a little bit risky. Don't always advise doing that, but most of the time we're going to want to go in with very strong offers. If it's in a price point that you're comfortable with and it's property that you like and a property that you want, going back to what we've said, getting the property is the deal in our market right now, because the next property you can reasonably expect to pay more for that property.
Yeah, negotiation wise, Dean hit it right on the head. Don't be scared to come in above list price with your initial offer, because it really is about getting the deal right now, because the next deal is pushing the prices up more, and there's time waiting for that next deal. Another great negotiating tactic is to try to find properties before they hit the market. That is a huge leg up that we offer. But we need to know what you're looking for. Don't be afraid to reach out to us and say, hey, Dean or Jeremy or Ron, I'm looking for X. And we'll say, great. We're going to go out there proactively and try to find it for you, because we know of properties that aren't on the market yet, or they're going to come to market soon. And if you can get that little bit of time difference to get in there and start negotiating potentially before it hits the market, then you have a huge leg up, not only in securing the property, but maybe securing the property at a lower price than when it does go to market and you have tens of thousands and millions of people on the internet now looking at that property. So that's the biggest leg up in negotiations right now, trying to find the property before it hits the market.
How many realtors does Park City have? You guys know offhand?
14.
Way too many.
What was it, Dean?
3.
Around 14.
3. Dean DeLeon, Jeremy Wilstein, Ron. That's the only ones you need to know about.
There's only 3, exactly. But I hear there's about 1,400 people trying to throw deals together for their clients. It's insane. It just is really crazy. And our numbers, as I covered in earlier on the stats, is the highest we have ever seen. I've been here 33 years. It's outrageous, but there's a lot of buyers out there looking, and there's a lot of agents looking on their behalf. So your comment, Jeremy, I think is right on target, that if we know about it ahead of time, sometimes we call it first dibs. Sometimes we get first dibs on a property in this market. It's really key. The other thing I just want to mention is, the struggle that some buyers have in terms of paying full price or more than full price. They really do grapple with that genuinely. It's a stumbling block, and it depends what their previous experience with real estate may have been, or just their philosophy, whatever it is. But the one thing that I'm at least sharing, because it's true, is to some buyers who have to overcome that, pay full price or a little bit above that in order to get the property they want, which they're going to have for an extended period of time, maybe 10 or 20 years, it's more important to get that. And in this market, you might pay more than the last comparable, and in 3 to 6 months, be sitting in your property, looking at the market statistics and seeing the next comparable is $100,000 more. So you might pay more now, but in a short period of time, you're going to have equity that is really in those numbers that we're talking about here. That's just what the market's doing right now. So
yeah, and the ability to use your property and be here. You get twofold. You get appreciation here, and then you also get the luxury and the pleasure of spending your time here in Park City, skiing, biking, hiking, going to all the great events we have. So, you know, you got to look at it long term. You can't look at it just at that list price, because that will be stumbling blocks and you might not be able to secure the property. So it's more important, as Dean has said, the deal is getting the property.
if we can be of any assistance to you, we're here for you. If you've got any questions, you can email them to me at ron@thewilsteinteam.com or give us a call at 435-487-0151. And want to thank you again for watching our webinar. Go visit our website at BuyParkCity.com. In fact, bookmark it. There's valuable information there. And have a great day.